Pakistan's Foreign Office has strongly rejected Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi's recent statements, calling them provocative, inflammatory, and rooted in misinformation. Islamabad warned that such rhetoric, coupled with aggressive military actions, risks dragging the region toward instability. It reaffirmed its commitment to the recent ceasefire, achieved through diplomatic mediation by friendly nations, and dismissed claims that it sought peace out of desperation as blatant lies. Condemning India's exploitation of the Pahalgam attack without evidence, Pakistan accused New Delhi of using it as a pretext for aggression and domestic political gain. It emphasized that its own military response was measured, targeted only at Indian military installations, and demonstrated its defensive capabilities. Pakistan reiterated its commitment to peace, self-defense, and the UN Charter, while warning it will respond firmly to any future Indian aggression. It also highlighted India's violations of the Indus Water Treaty and renewed support for a peaceful resolution of the Kashmir dispute. In a rare public statement, Suleiman and Qasim Khan, sons of former Pakistani Prime Minister Imran Khan, have appealed for international intervention over what they call their father's inhumane incarceration conditions. Speaking to online host Mario Nawfal, the brothers revealed they've exhausted all legal avenues since Imran Khan's arrest in August 2023 and now feel compelled to go public.
Currently, he's living in inhumane conditions. They're not giving him basic human rights.
They claim their father is being denied basic rights in Adiala jail, where he remains imprisoned over a £190 million corruption case and faces multiple other charges. They disclosed they rarely speak with him, only once every few months through brief and irregular calls.
How does that work? So, do you know in advance you're going to speak? So, for example, today, do you know when you're going to speak to him next?
No, so it's really chaotic. In fact, I'm glad you asked, because we'll get a message, and it can be sometimes at about 4 a.m. On any day, and it'll suddenly say, okay, call coming at 10 a.m. So we have 6 hours, and if we're not awake through that period, then we miss it. Which has happened before, and then we have to wait another 3 months before anything comes about.
Emphasizing they are not entering politics, the brothers said their mission is to restore democracy and safeguard Imran Khan's fundamental rights. They also called on global leaders, including Donald Trump, to raise their voices for justice.
What we want is just the international community to look at what's going on and hopefully take action. And who better than Trump to gain the attention of? So, we'd love to speak to Trump or try and figure out a way where he would be able to help out in some way, because, at the end of the day, all we're trying to do is free our father, bring democracy in Pakistan, and just ensure he has basic human rights.
Former Minister of State for Foreign Affairs Hina Rabbani Kaur says the restraint Pakistan showed during Indian aggression was on exhibit in all world capitals, and the theatrics Indian politics and media was also on display. It is different fighting wars in Bollywood, and it is different doing the same in real, she said on the floor of the National Assembly. We will never be on the side of provocation of war or conflict because we have suffered together.
Mr. Chairman, मैं आपके तवज्जुह से इंडिया के पास एक पैगाम दिखाना चाहती हूँ कि बॉलीवुड में जंगें लड़ना मुख्तलिफ है और वॉर थिएटर में असल में जंग लड़ना मुख्तलिफ है, और हम कभी भी we will never be on the side of provocation or war or conflict, because we have suffered together, India and Pakistan, in the entire region, the result of that.
Kaur added that India weaponized terrorism. If India was serious in dealing with this problem, they would not run away from the dialogue table and negotiation, she said, stressing that terrorism was a global problem and not just the purview of one country.
If India was serious in dealing with this problem, you know what they would do? They would not run away from the dialogue table, and they would not run away from negotiation. Terrorism is a regional problem, it's an international problem. It is not the purview of only one country. So basically, when terrorism happens in India, it is supposed to do self-defense. When terrorism happens in Pakistan, Pakistan is supposed to do what? Nothing?
On the economic front, Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif emphasized the need for broadening Pakistan's tax base, directing authorities to take strict action against tax evaders. Despite efforts, the Federal Board of Revenue, FBR, fell short of its collection target by 831 billion rupees for the first 10 months of FY25. The shortfall was mainly attributed to declining imports and lower-than-expected inflation. During a review meeting, the Prime Minister underscored the importance of bringing all capable sectors and individuals into the tax net, while also pushing for accountability in cases of tax evasion. The meeting also highlighted progress with the digital tracking system, which increased tax revenue in the cement and sugar industries. During his May 13, 2025, visit to Riyadh, U.S. President Donald Trump and Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman signed a strategic economic partnership agreement valued at $600 billion. This comprehensive deal encompasses sectors such as energy, defense, mining, and emerging technologies, aiming to strengthen bilateral ties and stimulate economic growth. A notable component of the agreement is a $142 billion defense package, marking the largest defense cooperation deal in U.S. history. This package includes potential sales of advanced weaponry, such as Lockheed F-35 jets, pending further discussions. In the technology sector, Saudi Arabia's AI startup 𝐒𝐭𝐲𝐬, backed by the Public Investment Fund, announced a partnership with U.S. tech company NVIDIA. This collaboration aims to develop AI services, GPU cloud computing, and digital infrastructure, aligning with Saudi Arabia's Vision 2030 initiative to diversify its economy beyond oil. Despite these economic advancements, discussions on normalizing Saudi-Israeli relations remain stalled due to ongoing conflicts in Gaza. Saudi Arabia has indicated that normalization is contingent upon a ceasefire and a clear roadmap to Palestinian statehood. President Trump's visit underscores a strategic shift towards economic collaboration and technological partnerships, reinforcing U.S.-Saudi relations amid evolving geopolitical dynamics. Yemen's Sana'a International Airport is set to reopen after a week-long closure due to damage from an Israeli airstrike amid ongoing conflict with Iran-backed Houthi forces. This development coincides with U.S. President Donald Trump's visit to Saudi Arabia, where he secured a $600 billion investment commitment and a $142 billion arms deal, including discussions on potential F-35 jet sales. These agreements have raised concerns in the UK, where the Palestinian rights group Al-Haq is legally challenging Britain's decision to continue exporting F-35 components to Israel, arguing it violates international humanitarian law. In Gaza, U.S. envoys Adam Boehler and Steve Witkoff expressed optimism about the release of remaining hostages following the release of Israeli-American Eden Alexander. They met with families in Tel Aviv before heading to Doha for further negotiations. An Israeli airstrike on Nasser Hospital in Khan Yunis killed journalist Hassan Asli, who was recovering from a previous attack. The strike resulted in 2 deaths and several injuries, exacerbating the humanitarian crisis in Gaza. The ongoing conflict has strained U.S.-Israel relations, with Israeli officials expressing concern over being sidelined in key decisions, such as hostage negotiations and U.S. engagements with Hamas. As President Trump continues his Gulf tour, including visits to Qatar and the UAE, the region watches closely for developments in diplomacy and conflict resolution.